Okay, now I know I promised in my last video that I was gonna do the how to draw backgrounds video next, but I realized it's been a while since I'd done one of these message to my subscriber videos, so I wanted to catch up on some of the questions people have been asking me. I'm working right now on a piece for DeviantArt, my DeviantArt account, and I've really been getting into DeviantArt lately, putting lots of stuff up there. So if you're interested, please check it out. Maybe I'll put something up at the end of the video that shows where that account is. Anyway, let me go and answer my first question, which came to me some time ago from Flowers. Is Flowers ZZ? Do I say Flowers? I'm not sure. But anyway, Flowers is a wonderful subscriber of mine. And the question is Winter the last Mickey Falls book? And the answer, sadly, is yes. Winter, which comes out January 1st, is the fourth and final Mickey Falls book. I conceived of this story as a single story that went with the seasons. And so it started with spring, and when it reaches winter, that's it, folks. But as you've probably heard me say in some of my recent videos, I am getting work underway on a new manga series, and I'll be talking a lot more about that in future videos. So thanks so much for asking that question. Let me see if I have another one that I can respond to. Okay, this isn't so much of a question as a statement that someone made to me. Someone by the name of Kat, I believe, had this problem and said to me, you know, if I can't see it, I can't draw it. You know, for me to draw a person, I need to either see a picture or have one of my friends pose for me, and it's so hard for me to draw it from my imagination. Do you have any tips, you know? And I just wanted to say, you know, that's a good thing. It is a good thing to have to draw from life, from real things, and don't feel like that's a problem, because that's how I learned how to draw pretty much anything that I draw, is by looking either at the real thing right in front of me, or getting sort of a reference from a book, or from, like, these days Google Image is just fantastic. You can find pretty much anything you're looking for, even the most obscure reference you can find. I don't want to say don't, it sounds like a law. But don't be ashamed of having to look at real stuff. I mean, that's how you end up with really great drawings. And any professional illustrator will tell you, I think, you know, use reference whenever possible. And then, you know, if you have drawn hundreds and hundreds of pictures of figures, people in various poses and so forth, little by little, your brain will memorize those positions, and you will begin to understand what the figure looks like as it turns in space. And then, finally, you will begin to be able to draw the figure from memory. But trust me, you know, I'm telling you from first-hand experience, it is very hard to draw an accurate, you know, an anatomically accurate human figure from memory. I can't really do it. I try, but my figures look kind of stiff. And any time that I am dissatisfied with a figure that I have drawn, I go right to Google Image or something, and I find a photo. Or even someone else's illustration, you know, there's someone who knows more about anatomy. I'm not saying copy line for line, but that's what reference is about. You look at it and you get some help. So anyway, if there's anyone else out there who's like, man, I can't draw the human body from memory, what should I do? Hey, you know, I'm with you. I can't draw it completely from memory either. So don't be ashamed of that, and just sort of embrace that, and hunt down the reference, you know. Create your own little encyclopedia of drawings that you've made, copied off of photos and different things, And then anytime you have to draw, you know, someone sitting cross-legged on the floor, you pull out your little book and find that drawing that you made of someone cross-legged on the floor, and that'll help you to do it. So that's my little response to that. Hang on a second. All right, so I had a question from a long time ago from someone named Diva Chick, who asked me, what do you use to erase? And I use a couple of different things to erase. First of all, I use the standard, I've always just liked using the standard tip of the pencil eraser like this on the good old Standby Dixon Ticonderoga. Just because it's small and precise and you can erase exactly what you want to erase. But when you need to erase very large areas of paper, you know, you kill yourself trying to use a tiny little eraser like that. That's when I turn to a kneaded eraser like this. Comes in a package like this, about 80 cents or whatever. You pull it out, you stretch it around, and then you get this nice big chunky eraser. It doesn't create little flakes, you know, like when you erase with one of these, you're always having to brush things away. You don't get any of those flakes, but over time it gets dirty and you have to just throw it away and get a new one. So anyway, try one of those if you are interested in an eraser that erases a very large surface all at once. And you know, you're sick of brushing away the tiny little flakes, because sometimes you can smear, you know, as you try to brush away those little pink flakes of eraser, you can actually smear things and mess up your drawing. So I think that's part of the idea behind the kneaded eraser, is to get rid of that step of brushing things away. Hang on a second, I've got at least a few more questions to go here. Okay, I decided to jump ahead in the process a little, let you see a little more of the drawing as I get closer to completion. I had a really good question some time ago from Kasumi's Man, and he asked, what I really want to know is what inspired you to do Miki Falls? And that's a great question, thanks for asking. Believe it or not, Miki Falls was initially inspired by the Grim Reaper and this idea of, you know, how death comes to your door and says, you know, your hour has arrived, and that kind of thing. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, I wonder if I can do a story in which something else other than your death is predetermined, or if something else in our lives, I don't want to give it away because it might ruin the first book for people who haven't read it yet, but you know, those of you who have read it, you know there is something else in our lives that can die, and in my series that also is controlled by a Grim Reaper or a bunch of Grim Reaper-like people. Yeah, thanks for asking that question. It's really kind of weird to look back and realize that that was the initial inspiration for Miki Falls. Hang on, I got time hopefully for one more question. Okay, one of my longtime subscribers, Ryan, had asked me, what kind of paper do you use? And it's Bristol paper. The brand I buy is Strathmore. I always get smooth Bristol. And anyone who's wondering about any of the materials that I use in my videos, please just go to my channel page and look at the info box in the upper left-hand corner that has hopefully every type of drawing material listed there that I use. Well, I want to make sure I don't run out of time, so just want to thank you all for subscribing. I can't believe it, but I got like 1,600 subscribers now. It's amazing. Thank you, all of you, for subscribing and for all your comments and everything. And I'm really honored by all of you and the response you've given me. Alrighty, I'll be back with a real how to draw video, this time that how to draw backgrounds video real soon. Until then, take care.